But there is a secret, there is a way you can break this chain and be free. Hello beautiful people, my name is Jane and welcome back to my channel. So today what we're talking about is the reason why we keep falling for bad boys. Yes, if you have ever wondered why is it that I always fall for a certain kind of guys, why is it that no matter how hard I try, it seems like I always find myself in the same situations every time. So I'm going to tell you the reason why we keep falling for bad boys and how to avoid this type of boys. So for this video, I had to make a list. I had to think about it long and hard. I had to ask people questions before I came up with these 5 reasons why we keep falling for bad boys. So let's get into it. The first one is, if you're an introvert like me and you know all that in the party scene and all that, bad boys tend to make you feel different. They tend to make you feel like you're more interesting, like you could throw caution to the wind. When you're with him, you're more lively. There's this thing about him that just makes you different than what you really like, what you normally like. And that's one of the reasons that we always fall for this type of boys. The second one is they seem to have it all figured out. Bad boys they have this vibe about them that makes you feel when you're around them, it's like they have it all figured out. They just have this unbothered energy about them. This untouchable thing about them. For a bad boy, it's like he's not worried about going to the club and blowing all his money and everything. It's like he's basically irresponsible, and he does it so well and looks cute while doing it. And it makes us feel like lesser people around them, because we're so we just can't wake up in the morning and just spend our whole 1 year salary on a bottle of champagne or whatever. But bad boys do it. Bad boys they have this energy about them, and it's contagious. When you're around them, it's like you just can't help loosening up. You loosen up, and you become a different version of yourself, and all of a sudden you're all cool and stuff. That's one of the reasons why we fall for them. The third one is he's a project for you. Now this one is very important and very deep as well. Bad boys, because that he's this damaged goods, but he's damaged in a way that makes you want to fix him, right? So he's a project for you. He's untamed, but you feel like you can tame him. You're the one that will show him the parts of life that he does not know and give him the love that he never received. And you feel like if you do all these things for him, you will finally be able to tame him and finally be able to conquer him and show him that you can be the one. I would say don't bother, but I know you still do it. So and that's why you go there and you break your heart. I would have said don't bother, but I know you will not hear. So that's all of the reasons we fall for bad boys. The fourth one is they're mostly cute. Have you noticed? They're mostly cute, like very, very fine. And for the ones that are not so fine, like physically, they make up for what they lack in looks, in attitude and charm. There's just that thing about him. There's just that thing about his voice, the way he carries himself, the way he looks at you, the way he does everything. He's like, he's like always on the move. Like you need to keep up. Like if you don't keep up, you get left behind. They just have so much personality. Yeah, that's the word. They have so much personality, and that's one of the many reasons why we fall for bad boys. Next one is psychology. Psychology tells us that we want what we can't have, and Mr. Bad is the president of evasiveness. He's always unavailable, right? So just like I said before, like he's a project, and you feel like you just need to show him, you just need to do a little more, and then so you basically want something that you can't have, and that's why you want Mr. Bad, because he's not there for you to have. So you basically, what do? When you want something you can have, you chase. That's what you do. That's what we do when we fall for bad boys. We chase them. And the more we chase them, the more they run. So now that you know the reasons why you fall for this type of boys, let's talk about how to avoid them. I mean, it's very hard. Let's be honest. Let's just get that out of the way first. It's very difficult not falling for this type of boys. But there is a secret. There is a way you can break this chain and be free. And what's that? Putting yourself first. I mean, most times we don't know when it happens. We don't know when we fall in love with these people. But I think you have an idea. So now you've fallen for bad boys a couple of times. So you have an idea what it looks like when you start falling, or when you meet, or when you get interested in a boy, and the reasons why you're interested in him. Now, when you know these things, when you know the reason why you fall for this type of boys, then you know when you're entering that territory that you're not supposed to enter. And one of the ways that you can break this chain and set yourself free is by putting yourself first. How do you do that? Remember the last time you fell for a bad boy. Remember the processes, remember the procedures, remember how it went, how it progressed, and how it ended. Very important, never forget how a relationship ended. And if you're in the habit of falling for bad boys serially, now it's time for you to consciously change your type of boys. Change your type of men. Learn today the difference between your wants and your needs. Unless you enjoy hurting, unless you enjoy being heartbroken, unless you enjoy being in pain, then it's a different case for you. I can't help you. But if you genuinely want something better for yourself, you feel like, you've made bad choices and now you want to make better choices. First, you need to think more of yourself than the person that you've fallen for. Think of your wants. Think of your needs. You want a fine boy, but you want a man that will respect you. Sorry, you want a fine boy, but you need a man that will respect you. You want a guy that is always on the move, that makes you feel all giddy and wild and whatever. But you need a man that you can rely on, that you can count on. You want a boy that will be a project for you, but you need a man that can take care of you. See what I'm doing there? So even if you have to go as far as, even if you have to go to the extent of taking pen and paper, making a list of your needs and your wants, so that when you are getting interested in somebody, or when you see somebody or when somebody approaches you and you guys are talking and all, when you are still in control of the situation, always go back to your notepad and weigh your options. If he makes you feel this way and you remember this, you recognize this feeling because you felt it before, then it's time to what? Run. If he makes you feel different and it's something, it's kind of a warmth. It's not fire like you're on fire, ooh, I'm burning. Love is warm. Love is not fire. Infatuation is fire. Love is warm. So if you meet somebody and he makes you feel like there's a peace that love follows. I mean, it doesn't always, but there's a peace. There's this consistency about love. But there's this in infatuation, when he or she, when your person you're infatuated with gives you attention, they give you so much that you feel like you die out of it, that you die from attention. But then when they don't, and then they take it away, and it's like you will die from not having it. That's not love. That is you falling for a bad boy. So back to how to heal yourself, right? You need to put yourself first. All right. Remember the last relationship, the way it went, the way it ended, and make that promise to yourself that that's not going to happen to you again. And get to work. All right. Bad boys are cute. Talk with them, converse with them in the club or wherever. But then know when to say bye. Know when to say, I've had fun. It's been a lovely night. Now I need to go back home. Know when to say that. Know when to let the conversation end and go. I mean, the more you do this, the more you become immune to the bad boy, whatever syndrome. And the more you see the power that you possess, the more mature you become in knowing what it is in making better choices and knowing what it is that you need in your life, and knowing how to get rid of the things that you want that you don't necessarily need, that are not supposed to be in your life. Yeah. So that's number one. Number two, another way to, make sure that you stop falling for bad boys is to not really let them get that close to you. It's just like what I said the last time, knowing when to end the conversation, knowing when to end no matter how much you enjoy their company, know when to always try to be in control of the situation. You can't always be in control of the situation if you let them get to a certain level, or you get your association with them get to a certain level, then you lose control. Don't let that happen. It's very important for you to know that, I enjoy your company, but this is where I stop, or this is where I call it a night or a day. It's very important. Another way that you could also kind of like gain back your freedom, your power, is by, pinpointing the things that, you personally, the reason why you like being around a bad boy. If, for instance, it's because you're an introvert and you feel like you don't have enough fun in your life, then it's time for you to make more fun for yourself without the bad boy. If that is the reason why you like having you like having him around, because it's only when he's around that you get to go out, it's time for you to go out more. I mean, if you don't have friends, it's time for you to make friends. It's time for you to, those things you feel like he represents for you in your life, or he gives you in your life, it's time for you to get them for yourself. If you feel like your life is not as full, then it's time for you to do something about it. Don't give one person or one set of people or one type of people so much power over you that in their absence is like you're nothing. I mean, this still comes back to putting yourself first, knowing that you're enough, knowing that you deserve better, and doing everything in your power to make sure that you have better. Because if you don't believe that you're good enough, you don't believe that you deserve better, you're never going to get better, and you're never going to be good enough. So it starts with you first. Putting yourself first, taking care of yourself, both mentally, physically, emotionally, psychologically, and otherwise. Whatever it is that you feel like you need to do to get better, to get to a point where you understand your feelings. I mean, a lot of people have to go to therapy to find out whether, there are things in their past, growing up and stuff, that makes them fall for a certain kind of people, that makes them always end up hurt in relationships. I mean, all these things are processes. There's no limits, or there's nothing too much for you, for your mental health, whatever it is that you feel like you need to do to get to that point where you're more comfortable in your skin, that nobody can just walk in and take advantage of you and just make you feel like, you're not worth it, you're not good enough, and you don't deserve love, because you do. All right. So take charge of your life today. Take care of yourself. Do whatever it is that you need to do to be able to put yourself first and know that you deserve better than these people, and make conscious efforts to go for better. I mean, when bad things happen, you're supposed to take something out of bad situations, and that's experience, right? So with the experiences you've gained, you should be able to tell when a bad boy is approaching you and you know that he's sweet, but he's not good for your health. You don't want diabetes. So yes, this is the end of this video. Thank you guys for watching it till the end. I really appreciate having you here. Please hit the red subscribe button, like this video, turn on notifications so you know when I drop new videos, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.